The Wheel of Time might be in danger, but its fans aren't backing down. From letters and petitions to global video campaigns, they're fighting to bring back Season 4. This is more than a show, it's a movement. Here's how the fandom is trying to save the Wheel of Time before the wheel stops turning. Save WOT campaign. In response to the growing fears over the series' future, fans of the Wheel of Time wasted no time organizing. The result is the Save WOT campaign, a coordinated international movement designed to convince Amazon and Sony Pictures Television to renew the show for a fourth season. This isn't just another hashtag on social media, it's a well-structured campaign with multiple engagement strategies, centralized on the website SaveWhat.com. The site serves as a rallying point for fans from every corner of the world, providing tools, templates, and suggested actions to maximize pressure on the decision-makers. What sets this campaign apart is the level of organization and emotional authenticity. Fans are not merely asking for more content, they're defending a story that has deeply impacted their lives. From newcomers to longtime readers of the book series, the fan base has shown incredible unity in its mission to keep the wheel turning on screen. A global effort. What makes the Save WOT campaign especially impressive is its truly global nature. Fans from North America, Europe, Asia, Australia, and beyond are participating in a synchronized effort, united by their love for Jordan's world. Thousands of testimonials have poured in from dozens of countries, with viewers writing heartfelt letters to Amazon executives, sharing their stories on video, and spreading awareness across every corner of social media. Platforms like Reddit, Twitter X, TikTok, Instagram, and even YouTube are being used to spread the word. On Reddit, dedicated threads provide coordination points and guides for people new to fan campaigns. Meanwhile, creators on TikTok and YouTube are making emotional reaction videos, reviews, and calls to action to encourage others to join. Some fans are even translating campaign materials into multiple languages to ensure everyone can participate. The effort is not just large, it's inclusive, accessible, and deeply personal. Letters, petitions, and testimonials. A cornerstone of the Save WOT campaign is its multifaceted letter writing and petition strategy. Supporters have already sent more than 250,000 letters and emails to Amazon Prime Video, Sony Pictures Television, and key executive offices. These aren't just form letters. Many include personal essays, handwritten notes, and stories of how the Wheel of Time has changed people's lives. For some, the show brought comfort during dark times. For others, it was a chance to share a beloved book series with a new generation. In addition to the letters, an official petition on change.org is gathering tens of thousands of signatures, while the Save WOT website also features a video testimonial section, where fans upload their messages. One standout example is Carolyn from Australia, who said, "As a long-time obsessed reader of the books, I have loved seeing the world and characters come to life. Scenes in the two rivers, Tarvalin and the Aiel Waste, have been absolutely incredible to see. These messages aren't just noise, they're stories. They're proof that this series has touched something real in people." Social media storms and community coordination. Digital platforms have been flooded with support for the Wheel of Time, creating what many call a social media storm. Hashtags like SayWOT, Renew Wheel of Time, and Renew Wheel of Time have trended across X and Instagram. Fan accounts have coordinated storm days during which thousands of fans post about the show simultaneously to boost its visibility and keep it in the algorithm. These campaigns are not random, they follow targeted strategies often used by K-pop fandoms and major franchise communities, using coordinated posting schedules, interaction algorithms, and even engagement maps to ensure the messages reach trending status. In addition, prominent Wheel of Time content creators on YouTube and TikTok have produced video essays, lore explainers, and personal appeals. The fandom has turned platforms once used to consume content into tools for activism. This collective pressure has already caught the attention of major entertainment outlets and industry professionals, making it harder for executives to ignore the call. Why Season 4 is critical for the story's momentum. Season 4 of The Wheel of Time isn't just another installment. It is the tipping point in Randall Thor's journey as the Dragon Reborn, and the turning of the pattern itself. According to showrunner Rafe Judkins, the third season is set to adapt The Shadow Rising, the fourth book in the series. That means Season 4 would tackle the fires of heaven, which includes several of the most defining character transformations and pivotal battles in the entire saga. The climax of Rand's war against the Forsaken, the confrontation with Ravin and Andor, the deepening of Mat Cauthen's military leadership, and Nynaeve's dramatic magical duel with Moghedien. These are not just fan-favorite moments. They are the glue that holds the rest of the story together. Without Season 4, entire arcs set up in the first 3 seasons will have no payoff. Characters like Elaine, Aviendha, Logain, and Lan have stories that have barely begun and require the next season to fully develop. Halting the series now would not only rob viewers of closure, but would undermine the investment millions have made in this long-form epic adaptation. In short, Season 4 is where the seeds begin to bloom, and without it, the entire structure of the show collapses mid-build. The show's cultural and literary importance. One of the less talked about but deeply important aspects of The Wheel of Time is its cultural and literary legacy. Robert Jordan's novels are among the most beloved and influential fantasy works of the late 20th century. Alongside Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, The Wheel of Time helped redefine what epic fantasy could be, introducing sprawling political plots, deeply flawed heroes, a cyclical model of time, and one of the most intricate magic systems ever written. For decades, these books were considered unfilmable because of their complexity. Amazon's decision to take on the project was a bold step in elevating high fantasy into mainstream TV. Cutting the show short before it even reaches its midpoint would send a disheartening message about the viability of adapting large-scale, intellectual fantasy stories. In a world where nuanced, long-form storytelling is thriving, thanks to series like House of the Dragon and The Rings of Power, prematurely ending The Wheel of Time would mean cutting off one of the most diverse, spiritually rich, and progressive entries in the genre. It's not just about dragons and magic, it's about honoring a literary legacy that shaped generations of readers. What Amazon's decision could mean for fantasy television. The streaming industry has entered an era of unpredictability, where shows are canceled for reasons ranging from cost efficiency to shifting algorithms. But the premature cancellation of The Wheel of Time would have wider consequences for the fantasy genre as a whole. This series has demonstrated that it's possible to build a successful, inclusive, high-concept fantasy world that resonates with both hardcore fans and newcomers. It features a diverse cast, complex female characters, and spiritual themes rarely explored in mainstream fantasy television. If Amazon decides to halt the series, it risks discouraging future investments in similar projects, especially ones that take creative risks or come from source material that doesn't already dominate pop culture. In a time when fantasy is undergoing a renaissance, from The Sandman to The Witcher, canceling The Wheel of Time would send a regressive message to creators and studios alike that only already established mega franchises deserve full adaptation. The ripple effect could discourage innovation in the genre for years to come. The unbreakable pattern of fan loyalty. Perhaps the most beautiful element of the entire campaign to save The Wheel of Time is the community itself. Unlike fleeting fan movements that vanish after a trend dies, this one has rooted itself in years of literary history, shared passion, and personal identity. Fans often refer to themselves as threads in the pattern, echoing the very fabric of the world Jordan created. The fandom includes lifelong readers, new viewers, cosplayers, artists, lore scholars, podcast creators, and critics alike, each contributing to the pattern in their own way. What's happening now is not just a campaign to renew a show, but a collective reaffirmation of what The Wheel of Time means to people. For many, it's a story about fighting against the tide of fate. For others, it's about the power of perseverance, redemption, or unity. That level of emotional connection is rare in media. And when fans are this engaged, this coordinated, and this emotionally invested, it would be a tremendous mistake for any studio to ignore them. Just as the dragon must be reborn to break the cycle, The Wheel of Time must be renewed to complete its arc. And the fans will not stop until the wheel turns once more. Fan movements that made a difference. The campaign to save The Wheel of Time joins a growing history of fan-driven movements that have successfully revived, renewed, or rescued beloved shows. These aren't isolated miracles. They are now becoming a major force in modern entertainment. In 2013, fans of Community launched the 6 Seasons and Amavi campaign, keeping the show alive through platform changes and studio shifts. In 2018, Lucifer was famously resurrected by Netflix after fans flooded social media with pleas for continuation following Fox's cancellation. Similarly, The Expanse, another genre-heavy series with complex world-building, was saved by Amazon itself thanks to fan mobilization and overwhelming support from influential voices, including authors, actors, and major industry insiders. Each of these success stories proves one thing: a passionate, vocal, and coordinated fan base can move mountains in the streaming era. In many cases, it's not just about numbers, it's about visibility, loyalty, and persistence. What the Wheel of Time fans are doing mirrors these past efforts, but with even more global reach and literary backing. If Amazon once chose to save The Expanse, they now have even more reason to renew a show like The Wheel of Time, which carries both a literary legacy and a dedicated global audience. But Season 4 promises to deliver. Beyond just continuing the story, The Wheel of Time Season 4 offers some of the most exhilarating and emotionally charged arcs in the entire saga. Fans of the books know that The Fires of Heaven, which would serve as the primary source material, is a narrative high point filled with confrontation, growth, and tragedy. Rand al'Thor's battle with Ravine in Camelin is a moment of shock and spectacle that rivals anything seen so far in the series. It showcases Rand's increasing power, but also his descent into emotional isolation and burden. Meanwhile, Nynaeve Almira's magical duel with Moghedien is one of the most personal and jaw-dropping moments in the entire book series, finally cementing her as a truly elite channeler after seasons of inner turmoil. Matt Cawthon begins stepping fully into his role as a tactician and hero, while Elaine and Avienda's paths cross and set the stage for political drama and romantic complexity. Season 4 also deepens the presence of the Forsaken and raises the stakes in the war against the Shadow. These arcs aren't just exciting, they're essential to the emotional and thematic payoff of the entire story. Cutting the show now would mean denying viewers the very chapters that define what makes The Wheel of Time unforgettable. Cast and crew commitment. Behind the scenes, the commitment of the cast and crew has also fueled hope and fan enthusiasm. Showrunner Rafe Judkins has long spoken about his vision for the series to run for at least 6 or 7 seasons, which would allow the story to adapt the entire main arc through A Memory of Light. In interviews, Judkins has acknowledged the complexity of Jordan's narrative and emphasized the importance of long-term planning to pay off character arcs, especially for characters like Moiraine, Mat, Perrin, and Egwene. Members of the cast have also voiced their love for the story and hinted at what's to come. Rosamund Pike, who plays Moiraine Damodred, called the series a gift of emotional depth and world-building unlike anything I've worked on before. Many other cast members have posted messages of gratitude, behind-the-scenes memories, and even subtle support for the Save Watt movement online. This creative investment is critical. When actors and showrunners are still excited to tell the story, it means there's more to give, more to explore, and more magic to be made. The fan campaign isn't operating in isolation. It's echoing a passion shared by the people who bring the show to life. Financial and critical incentives. Beyond the emotional and creative aspects, there are financial and strategic reasons for Amazon to renew The Wheel of Time. First, the show already has a built-in global audience thanks to the popularity of the books, which have sold more than 90 million copies worldwide. That level of source material recognition is a rare asset in television. Second, Season 3 has already received glowing praise from early screeners and critics, with the highest Rotten Tomatoes score of the series thus far. Investing in a 4th season means capitalizing on that positive momentum rather than letting it dissolve. Moreover, the production infrastructure, including sets, costuming departments, and CGI pipelines, is already in place, which lowers the overhead for continuing the series. Halting now wastes years of investment and momentum. In today's crowded streaming market, where new IPs struggle to break through the noise, having an established, consistent fantasy epic with international acclaim is incredibly valuable. Amazon has already invested in The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. But diversity in genre offerings only strengthens a platform's hold on the fantasy audience. The Wheel of Time is not just a sunk cost, it's a foundation ready to return massive creative and commercial dividends. What happens if Amazon walks away? While fans remain hopeful that Amazon will greenlight Season 4, there's also growing discussion about what happens if they don't. The reality of modern streaming and television is that cancellation doesn't always mean the end. If Amazon decides not to proceed, it's entirely possible that another studio or platform could step in. This has happened before. The Expanse moved from sci-fi to Amazon, Lucifer was saved by Netflix, and Manifest was brought back for a final season due to massive fan demand on streaming platforms. The rights to The Wheel of Time are shared between Amazon and Sony Pictures Television, which means Sony could shop the series to other networks or digital services if Amazon declines to proceed. Platforms like Netflix, Hulu, Max, or even Apple TV Plus might see the value in a property with a built-in global audience and a clear demand for continuation. Moreover, with the rise of international markets and co-producers, studios are more open than ever to partnerships that allow series to find new homes. While this would involve delays and contract renegotiations, the success of past rescue campaigns shows that if the fans remain loud, coordinated, and persistent, the pattern may yet find a new path forward. A campaign with staying power. Most campaigns lose steam after a few weeks, but the Save What movement is built differently. What started as an urgent reaction has now evolved into a long-term, structured initiative, complete with scheduling, digital toolkits, international coordination, and media outreach. Weekly storm events on social media continue to trend in different countries. New content is being generated constantly, from fan videos and art to letter-writing drives and coordinated review posts on platforms like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. Volunteer moderators and organizers are maintaining momentum through Discord servers, Reddit megathreads, and dedicated email campaigns. Some fans are even attending conventions and fantasy events to distribute flyers and raise awareness offline. This isn't just a flash in the pan, it's a sustainable fan movement. As long as the series hangs in the balance, this campaign will persist. Its growth mirrors the resilience of the story itself. Like the characters in The Wheel of Time, fans are enduring, adapting, and refusing to give up. The campaign has become more than an effort to renew a show. It's a testament to the enduring power of community. Honoring Robert Jordan's legacy. Perhaps the most profound reason for the fight to save The Wheel of Time is to honor the man who created it. Robert Jordan devoted his life to building this world, not just its landscapes and magic system, but its philosophies, its cultural dynamics, and its emotional truths. When Jordan passed away before completing the final volumes, Brandon Sanderson was brought in to finish the saga, not only out of respect, but because millions of readers deserved to see the ending Jordan had envisioned. That same respect now drives the push for Season 4 and beyond. Halting the show halfway would echo the pain fans felt when Jordan passed, the deep grief of an unfinished journey. But this time the ending is within reach. The source material exists, the cast and crew are committed, the fans are all in. What's needed now is a show of faith from the studios. Jordan's work changed lives. It brought hope, wisdom, courage, and wonder to millions of people around the world. Completing the TV adaptation is not just a financial or artistic decision, it's a promise to carry his legacy forward in full. And it's a promise worth keeping. Fans can help it turn. The Wheel of Time is a story about destiny, but it's also a story about defiance, about choosing to fight against what seems inevitable and shaping the pattern with courage, not surrender. In that spirit, the Save What campaign is more than a plea. It is a declaration that stories like this matter, that communities can make a difference, and that even in an age of streaming uncertainty, fan voices have the power to reach the halls of decision-makers. Whether Season 4 happens at Amazon or elsewhere, the campaign has already proven its worth. It has reminded everyone, fans, studios, and critics alike, why this show was worth making in the first place. It's about more than magic. It's about heart. It's about hope. And if the pattern is just, the wheel will turn once more.